The benefits of self-confidence affect our emotional state. They call that affect. Behavior, what we do, and cognitions, our thoughts. So these break down as follows. Confidence arouses positive emotions. When you are confident, you lessen negative emotion, are more assertive. You're also more calm. More confident athletes and people in general interpret anxiety levels as positive compared with less confident athletes. So, for example, you're going to deliver a speech. Public speaking is one of those areas which people really, really dislike. And the more you do it, the more able you are, because your heart might be beating in the lead up to giving your speech or whatever it is. You could also take that as excitement. This is something they talk about, this reversal theory. The heart racing could be perceived as anxiety, or it could be excitement. I speak to clients about, when was the last time you went to a concert or you went to the cinema to see a film you were really looking forward to, but your heart was, it was increasing, your heart rate was up. But if you're about to deliver a speech or you're about to do something you're less confident at, you're more likely to perceive that as something negative. The more confident we are, the more we're like, I'm going to give this speech, I'm excited to give it, I'm excited to go out there and share my message. And this is what people do when they are more confident in that area, because they feel they have the resources to deliver specifically what it is. The key difference between stress and pressure. Stress is when we don't feel we've got the resources. And that's when we have a response in the body. We dump loads of stress hormone into the body, which makes us nervous, makes us experience both negative thoughts and negative feelings. Whereas pressure is something we can deal with. Pressure is what we feel. The stress is the response if we don't feel we have the resources. Obviously, if you're confident you can deal with it, then you don't experience stress. You experience the pressure, but you might like that pressure. It might focus the mind, so you got the positive outlook of that. So if you're very, very low in confidence, then everything's too much for you. And this is, happens to people which are agoraphobic. They have masses and masses of issues related to this. I fear that, I fear this. I have this condition, I have that condition. And these people, no wonder, you've got 10 different conditions. You're afraid of all these different things, and you just feel like you can't cope. Well, to me, it's much more facilitative to build up your confidence. And it might take a little bit of time. Building confidence is critical for us in the modern world, as it always has been. Maybe even more so because, stress and anxiety is through the roof. So moving on, confidence facilitates concentration. So when you're confident, your mind is free of distractions, not this constant negative self-talk in your mind about not being able to focus. You think you can do it, and so your mind is quiet. You're able to focus on the task at hand. There's no worry when you're confident, because you feel like you're going to perform at your highest level. See, confident people are more efficient in their thoughts and coping strategies because they think they're going to do it. Whatever it is, they might not do it and they might go, reflect after on why that didn't go as well as we hoped. But if your confidence going into something, you've done it before, you've got concrete experience of doing it, then you're not going to have this voice in your head going on and on about worrying about this, worrying about that. Again, you're going to experience that heart rate increase positively. I'm excited to do whatever it is I'm going to do because I need to be in this high energy state to perform at my best. Confidence affects goal setting. Confident people tend to set challenging goals and strive to achieve them. Less confident people select very easy goals or unachievable goals, which results in no striving. They give themselves a crazy goal which is just way beyond being achievable, and that way they can say, they can bail themselves out, or they can just stick where they are and there's no risk of failure there. Well, if you set yourself a challenging goal, there is a risk of failure. If it's slightly too much for you, find that midway goal that you can kind of reach and push yourself to achieve. And moving on from that, confidence increases effort. In activities that require persistence, the more confident person usually performs better over the long run and is most likely to prevail. This also works in recovering from injury, because something people don't think about, but every day around the world there's people which are injured and they just give up. They just give up and just assume, this is me now. Physically, I'm not going to get back to where I was. It could be quite a mild injury, but if it seems like it's not mild in your mind, if it seems like it's debilitating and it's forever, and people don't recover from that. The body can recover from, a lot a hell of a lot. But if the mind's not willing to do the rehab, to do whatever, just doing the minimum, just going out for a walk, if you're an older person, sitting too much is terrible for us. And some of these people, they sit all day and all night, and their health just goes off a cliff. There is a study where they showed that if you're not walking for half an hour a day on average, then your long-term health is going to suffer terribly, and you're going to end up suffering, and your health will fall off a cliff. It's not surprised that the people which are more sedentary, they're going to be low in confidence because they're not doing much. So it's hard to be confident when you're sitting all day and all night and not doing much. And as I say before, you're watching soaps, you're really caring about what the celebrity you like's doing, or how much time are you spending on what you're doing. And it might seem harsh, but these are some of the harsh pills we have to take because it's up to us. It's really up to us if we want to live a long, healthy, fruitful life. It's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take focus. It's going to take activity on our part. The confidence affects game strategies. Now, this relates to obviously the sporting context, but you could transfer this over. So confident people play to win. Will take chances to do so. So this, as I say, could manifest in work life as well. Less confident people play not to lose or look to avoid mistakes that lead to average performances in most cases. Now, it could be you've been tasked at work to do some report and you play it too easy. You don't really say anything. You don't really do anything with this report or whatever it is you do for work. So it doesn't just have to be in a sporting context. It could be anything. It could be in family life. You're more able to, set more challenging goals, but put the work in, put the effort in, related to the family, related to whatever it is it needs to be. Less confident people are happier to not make mistakes than do something positive. Does that ring true? I've been there, I've felt that. I've done it in a sporting context. I've done it in work. It's something, if you find yourself doing that, then ask yourself, is that what you want to do for the rest of your life? Because this is it, Sometimes we have to break our thinking patterns. We have to change up how we act. Do you want to get more from your job? Do you want to get more from your home life, from your time on this earth? Because, it's finite. Confidence affects psychological momentum. Confident people see negative events as a challenge and then aim to take action to reverse the situation. You could lose your job, but maybe it's a blessing. Or maybe you spiral into depression. Less confident people see a negative situation as irreversible and can accept defeat before it happens. As I say, I'll repeat again and again, this is a lot from the sports literature, but this works in the work environment or in the home as well. Less confident people see it as irreversible, their situation. Oh, it's always going to be like that. Things won't change. Momentum is a huge part of sport and life in general. A confident person takes inspiration for something small and reverses their fortune. That's something I speak to my clients a lot about because momentum is huge. From a standing start, it takes a lot to get going, but once you've got that momentum going, confidence affects performance, of course. High confidence without competence is not the answer, because if you don't have the skills, being as confident as whoever, having supreme confidence but no skills is a recipe for disaster as well. So what we're talking about today is being confident in your domain. But it might be you need to up your skill levels, which takes confidence in your ability to do so too. Confidence affects our ability to learn as well. So maybe our skill level isn't where it needs to be, but we have the confidence that it will be where we need it to be in the future, and we're going to take the time to study, to drill and practice. Maybe you're being tasked by your boss to deliver presentations. Maybe you're not feeling as confident as you need to be, or your current level is not where it needs to be. Well, okay, explore what it takes to be a great speaker, to present effective presentations. The skills need to be there, and if they're not right there at the moment, then you need to practice and upskill those. And that takes confidence, because some people will just be like, oh, that's not me, I can't do that. Well, no one was born with that particular skill. They had to work at it. As I say, confidence is important, but without competence, it will only take you so far.